Princess Diana's name turns around and drags Prince Harry into court, you know this isn't just a scandal, it's a full-blown collapse of everything he once claimed to protect. The charity Prince Harry built in Princess Diana's name is now suing Prince Harry. Let that sink in. Not critics, not tabloids, not strangers, his own legacy project. And suddenly, every quiet move, every carefully curated appearance, every emotional speech starts to feel like part of something much bigger, something unraveling in real time. Princess Diana's grave becoming an Instagram backdrop, her anniversary circling into red carpet timing. Is this remembrance or is it reinvention? And why does it feel like the line between tribute and exploitation has completely disappeared? And then there's Prince William. Silent, completely silent. No statements, no reactions, no corrections. But that silence, it's louder than anything Prince Harry has said in years. Because while Prince Harry appears to be losing everything tied to Princess Diana's name, Prince William is simply inheriting it, not fighting for it, not explaining it, just existing in it as if he understood something fundamental that Prince Harry didn't. Sentebale, even the name carries weight. Forget-me-not, a tribute Prince Harry chose himself back in 2006 alongside Prince Siaiso, built for children living with HIV in Lesotho and Botswana. For years, it stood untouched by controversy, the one thing nobody questioned about Prince Harry, the one thing that felt real, untouched by cameras, untouched by branding, untouched by narrative control. For nearly 2 decades, Sentebale wasn't just a charity. It was proof that Prince Harry could carry Princess Diana's legacy without turning it into spectacle. But now, that same charity is standing in a high court accusing him. Defamation, legal action, words that don't belong anywhere near something built in Princess Diana's memory, and yet here they are. The claim, filed in March 2026, names Prince Harry and Mark Dyer, not outsiders, not unknown figures, people deeply tied to the very foundation of Sentebale. And suddenly, the story shifts. This isn't about public perception anymore. This is internal, personal, controlled damage spilling into the open. The board didn't just file quietly. They described a coordinated adverse media campaign, operational disruption, reputational harm, cyberbullying. Think about that. A charity meant to protect vulnerable children now claiming it needed protection itself. And at the center of that storm, Prince Harry and Mark Dyer. And then emerges Dr. Sophie Chandauka, not just a name on paper, a force, a lawyer, a former executive at JP Morgan and Meta, someone who built her career from nothing into something formidable. And according to her, the problem inside Sentebale wasn't external pressure. It was internal silence. A room full of professionals afraid to challenge Prince Harry. Afraid, that word changes everything. Because when someone describes meetings with the word belligerent, it doesn't sound like leadership anymore. It sounds like control. It sounds like tension. It sounds like something was already breaking long before the lawsuit made it public. And here's where the story flips completely. Prince Harry, who spent years initiating legal battles, is no longer in control. This time, Prince Harry isn't choosing the fight. Prince Harry is the defendant. And in England, that changes everything. Because the law doesn't start neutral. It starts against him. Every word he spoke about Sophie Chandauka is presumed untrue, unless he proves otherwise. That's not just pressure. That's a trap. And then the allegations start stacking up. A charity polo event in Miami, a Netflix camera crew brought in without warning, costs rising, venues pulling out, chaos building behind the scenes. And suddenly, what was supposed to be a fundraising moment starts looking like something else entirely. Something commercial, something controlled. And then Meghan enters, unannounced alongside Serena Williams. No coordination, no warning, just impact. And that now infamous moment, the trophy presentation. Meghan appearing to instruct Sophie Chandauka to move aside. A single gesture that circled the globe in hours. A moment that looked small but felt enormous. Because what happens when a charity becomes secondary to optics? And when the press exploded, the response behind the scenes made it even worse. Requests for Sophie Chandauka to publicly defend Meghan. A refusal. A direct one. No, we are not becoming an extension of the Sussex PR machine. That line alone, it doesn't just expose tension, it exposes a fracture. And then comes the most devastating claim of all, that the biggest risk to Sentebale wasn't funding, wasn't politics, wasn't external pressure. It was the brand of Prince Harry himself. Let that echo. A charity built in Princess Diana's name, identifying its own founder as its greatest threat. And just when it feels like it can't get worse, another detail surfaces. Allegations reported by Tom Bauer claims that Prince Harry encouraged donors to redirect funds from Sentebale to Archewell, his own foundation. If true, this isn't just reputational damage. This is something deeper, something that cuts directly into the purpose of why Sentebale existed in the first place. And this is where the situation stops being just damaging and starts becoming dangerous. Because in England, legal battles are not just about arguments, they are about exposure, total exposure, a process called disclosure, and the word used by a senior barrister to describe it: nuclear. Every message, every email, every WhatsApp, every private conversation connected to Sentebale dragged into the light. Think about what that really means. Conversations between Prince Harry and Mark Dyer, messages between Prince Harry and Meghan discussing Sophie Shandoka, not just recent ones. Everything, years of history, every frustration, every strategy, every moment that was never meant to be seen. And suddenly, the same weapon Prince Harry once used against newspapers is now pointed directly at Prince Harry. And while all of this is building slowly, relentlessly, something else happens. Something that pulls Princess Diana's name into the center of the storm in a completely different way. A visit, a photograph, a single image posted online. Prince Harry, Archie, Lilibet walking down a quiet tree-lined path at Althorpe, the Spencer family estate, the place where Princess Diana grew up, the place where Princess Diana is buried. The intention might have looked simple, a tribute, a private moment, but the reaction? Immediate, global. The word that kept appearing again and again was ghoulish, and not from random voices, from people who understood exactly what that place was meant to be: a private resting place, a protected space. Even Charles Spencer once described it as deliberately isolated to keep it away from exactly this kind of attention. And now that barrier feels broken, because it didn't stop there. Timing started to look deliberate. The image appearing just after Prince George's birthday portrait, another image of Archie in a cockpit mirroring another royal moment, patterns forming, coincidences stacking, and then the details that make everything feel even more unsettling. The swimsuit echoing Princess Diana, the Paris car video filmed near the same streets tied to her death. One moment alone could be dismissed, but together they start to feel like something else entirely. A pattern, a strategy, a repetition that becomes impossible to ignore. And then the idea that crosses a line no one expected. Reports that Meghan proposed a joint visit. Prince William, Catherine, their children, Prince Harry, Meghan, all together at Princess Diana's grave. A photograph, a moment captured forever. But Prince William's response? Immediate, one word: grotesque. Because for Prince William, that space was never meant to be shared with cameras, never meant to be staged, never meant to be seen at all. And now everything builds towards something bigger: the Diana Award, the last remaining connection between Prince William and Prince Harry, a 30th anniversary gala planned for 2027. Both invited, both expected. And quietly, beneath all the planning, the real tension begins to surface. Because this isn't just an event, it's a collision. And behind the scenes, the positioning becomes clear. Timing aligned with Invictus, invitations structured, and whispers that Meghan wants to attend, that Prince Harry wants that presence there, that visibility, that connection. But Prince William? Unmoved, firm, unchanged. Because for Prince William, the line has already been drawn, and everyone watching can feel it. Because this isn't just about a gala, it's about what happens after. One photograph, two brothers standing under Princess Diana's name, and by the next morning, the narrative writes itself. Relevance restored, position regained, questions silenced, or maybe amplified. Because when you step back, really step back, the full picture becomes impossible to ignore. A charity built in Princess Diana's name now suing Prince Harry. A legal battle forcing private messages into public view. A Graveside moment turned into global backlash. A pattern of decisions that feel less like coincidence and more like